it was murky water, so I kind of like just stretched my arms out to see if I can find him, and I finally got my son, and I put him over my shoulder, and I swam to the shore.
Bobby Bone, come on.
Kyle in Minneapolis who left us a voicemail.
I had a near-death experience yesterday. It wasn't like super crazy, just rammed my head into the sidewall of a concrete pool. Probably had a pretty major concussion. But anyways, just got me thinking about death and life, and I was just curious if anybody had any near-death experiences. Thank you guys. Love the show.
Thank you very much for the voicemail. I'll go first. I have 3. I have, when I was a kid, 5 years old, I fell off a house onto a boat trailer, ruptured my spleen. I was in the hospital. They had to basically keep me from drowning internally in my own blood. Is a big deal. Still got a big scar. Almost died there. I remember being put under still, like vividly, when they put the mask on me, and they were like, count down from 100. I remember going, 100.
Whoa.
I was out. Like, I remember that of all of that time. Secondly, I had a gun to my head, and I got pistol whipped at an ATM outside of a radio event once, and they kept shoving the gun in my head, and I don't know, thought I was going to get my head blown off. I could not remember my PIN number. I know my PIN number, but I've never remembered that PIN number because as soon as that gun and as soon as I got pistol whipped, it's gone. And I remember just telling the guy, dude, I don't know it, or I'd give you the money. I had no money. Oof. And I was like, dude, I might have $40 in there. I'll give you this money just to get you out of here because I have a gun to my head, like reasoning with him. And he said, whack, and then took off my wallet. Is a whole ordeal. That counts. And then 3, I was at the lake once and almost got run over by a jet ski. They saw me last minute and they cut hard. And that freaking back of the jet ski, when it cut, hit my nose.
Are you exaggerating?
I remember feeling it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like probably more than my nose, but it hit the front of my face.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah,
That's
sucked
literally
too.
near death. Literally.
Or hurt. That one just could have been hurt real bad. The other 2, literally near death. But those are my 3 near-death experiences. Amy, you have any?
I don't.
Look at you.
Not any that I know of.
What sucks is that means you're due.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
coming.
It's coming.
That means you're due. I don't mean to be the person to tell you about law of averages, but
Yeah.
good luck today. Eddie?
Ooh, mine was terrible. Me and my son, we were in a pond in a canoe. We're fishing, and he snagged, like, he got a bite, right? And it's a heavy fish. And so he's like, Dad, it's too heavy for me to get. And I stood up in the canoe, which you should never do. The canoe tipped over. We capsized, and it was murky water. So I kind of like just stretched my arms out to see if I can find him. And I finally got my son, and I put him over my shoulder, and I swam to the shore, dude. And it was winter, so like we were in jackets and boots, and everything just got heavy. And we probably tried to swim for about 3 minutes, and then I just got exhausted. And so I thought, this is the end. I put him all the way up over my head just so he could at least stay up and breathe longer than I can. And when I did that, I felt the bottom of the pond. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the bottom. And I started walking as fast as I could, and I walked out of that pond. But I was ready to die at that moment.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That counts as another save.
Hero.
Hey.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I know. That's what I'm thinking the whole time. You're a lifeguard. You give yourself credit. That's a save.
You know what, man? I wasn't on the stand, so I never put that together.
That's a save. Oh. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Lunchbox?
Yeah, one time I was driving back from an Astros game with No Teeth Keith, my old baseball coach. He was driving, and we're on 290. So we have 2 lanes going westbound, and we are in the left lane, and I look ahead, and there are headlights coming straight for us. And I don't have time to say anything. I just reach over, and I grab the wheel and pull it to the right and move us to the right lane. 2 seconds later, whoosh, car going the wrong way in the left lane just kept past us. We'd have died immediately. Head on.
I got lucky when that happened to me. It was daytime.
You had a car coming at you too?
Yeah, and I was just confused for a second, but I could see it. Where the headlights, it's a whole different story at night. But I could see a car, and I was like, I think this is a one-way. And I'm by myself. And so I just pull over. The car just goes right on by. But I saw it from forever, and I was like, I think something ain't right. If it had been nighttime, I'd have probably been dead. And the fact that you just grabbed the wheel and pulled it over.
And I didn't. And Keith was like, "Kid, you didn't even say anything." And I was like, "I didn't have time." And then for some reason, we just burst out laughing, and we laughed and laughed and laughed. I don't know if it was just shock, but it was just like
you all just started laughing.
I don't know.
Maybe because like
Yeah, whatever you're gonna
sometimes
say, yeah.
a high stress situation, you
Oh.
just laugh.
Yep.
He was like, "Kid, I'm glad you just grabbed that wheel."
And then how did you guys laugh? Like, how was it?
We just started. I was like, "That was
example.
crazy." And then he just looked at me. I was like, and we just started laughing. And then we just started laughing, and it was just like,
Because you're like, we made it.
we made it.
Yeah,
It was,
there
like,
you go.
Your body's releasing.
it was like a
Absolutely.
release. Like you
Yes.
felt the.
Okay, that
I've
makes
had
sense.
that in like really serious
It,
situations.
it was. I mean, I
You
still
walked
think
in- you
about
walked
it
in the
all the
pool
time.
once.
No, I didn't laugh
Fully
at
clothed
that.
though. You walked in the pool. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Were
I
you
definitely...
laughing when you walked in the
No.
pool?
She was like,
No, no, I didn't laugh at that. But I've been in there was a very intense situation in my life where you would not think anybody would laugh during this, and I started laughing, and I was like, I couldn't help it. So
Yes.
it worried me.
Well, thank you for the call. You guys can always leave us a voicemail. We love questions like that. 877-77 Bobby.